wouldn't be dope. That would be hard. But even if you want to stay put at the 50s, man, a guy like Jevon Holland would be perfect. To me, he's my second favorite, and he's not too far from a Trayvon Merrick right there. He's a ball hawk. He could do the job, no doubt about that, if you were to stay put. These guys don't really have to be ultra aggressive.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, Top Billin, before I get into a little bit of a film study on my man Jevon Holland from Oregon, allow me to set the table like you know I always do. So last time you saw me talking about Miami Dolphins content, of course, it was on the Houston Comet, Jalen Waddle, and you guys know that was my particular draft pick for the Miami Dolphins for their personnel setup, for him to complement who they already have on the roster, and I think he will be a tremendous addition, despite what a lot of these goofballs out here are saying, because they go by hype and they don't even watch freaking college football until it's draft time, and they watch some highlights and they go by whatever the media is saying or whatever like that. I'm tripping on anybody who would have a problem with Jalen Waddle being on their team. Please name one person in the SEC, right, the conference that everyone swears by, who lined up across from Jalen Waddle and had anything to offer him. I'll hang up and wait. Yes, crickets. So relax with that stuff, man. Whatever. We'll move on past that, right? So, and then, of course, beyond that, you guys know about Jalen Phillips. Had already did that content study right there prior to the draft, so it was really nothing really to go back on that. Make sure you check out both of those content pieces. May come back in the future or something on Phillips, I don't know. But moving on past that, man, the rest of the draft turned out pretty well for the Dolphins, as I may say. As you see right there, they end up getting he's my second favorite free safety prospect, because I was talking about that for the Washington football team, who needs a free safety. As an overall defensive back combination prospect, Jevon Holland's my favorite, even over a Trayvon Merrick, for the fact that, man, I got a lot of time invested in watching Oregon. I don't miss Oregon games, period. So I've seen every single game that this guy has played in an Oregon uniform, and I absolutely love his skill set. And I think it fits what the Dolphins want to do tremendously with that style of defense that they have from Coach Flores. And I can see him at a myriad of positions. So when I get in a film study right there, I'll talk about a couple of the positions that I think he could help immediately. He ends up being kind of a luxury pick if you think about it, because the answers are on the test for the Dolphins, because they really do have pretty good personnel now. A lot of people are down on the safeties. They have those combination safeties, right? Both these guys could flip their respective styles, whether it be McCain and Rowe. They're not the biggest safeties you'll ever see, but in that particular scheme, you have to cover a lot, so they're not going to have big, gigantic Cam Chancellor-type safeties. Or maybe they should, right? They do a lot of head-up man coverage on tight ends, so maybe that could help. But Eric Rowe's pretty good in that particular fashion, so you can't say anything about that. But you always got to have answers on the test beyond that. If something happened to Eric Rowe, who would come in and be able to do that? So Liam Eichenberg, a guy that I mentioned in the pre-draft process as well, I believe, for the Washington football team. I think the Dolphins got everybody that I mentioned for the Washington football team beyond the guys that I mentioned for the Dolphins. So that works out well in my favor right there, because I have a lot of time invested in these prospects and being able to know their particular situation. So, and then we'll get to Jarrett Dokes as well, the running back, maybe sometime in the future. But, man, having Jevon Holland definitely makes me kind of want to stick around after the draft process with the Dolphins content. Really wasn't my plan to do anything really past the draft with the Dolphins content. I have some other teams that I want to concentrate on as far as primary coverage for the channel going on, and like who gets covered during the season with all the game stuff week in and week out and stuff like that. So that remains to be seen right there. Dolphins are definitely in the running. But Jevon Holland, oh my God, this is incredible for me, man. So he could play, to me, immediately he comes in, right, and people are going to think about him as a safety. I first knew about this man as a inside corner, so where Nick Needham plays at, right? So I would have to think, I don't know what Dolphins fans, I didn't cover the Dolphins during the season just from watching Dolphins games. Nick Needham seemed to always be somebody who was a day late and a dollar short, right? So he obviously has a little bit of talent. I'm not going to say that he's bereft of talent or anything like that, but is there an upgrade there with a guy like Jevon Holland, to me, who is a little bit more of a premium prospect? Obviously, he's a 36th overall pick. I think he ended up being the first safety pick, so think about that, over Trayvon Merrick. So it's funny how the draft process, and you can get stuff in your head as a fan, which I'm not, right? I'm a working professional. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that. You guys got to Google me, right? I didn't start on YouTube, right? I started 8 years ago in digital and print media, so I've been doing this for a long time. So don't be coming up on here talking to me about being a fan and stuff, trying to discredit stuff, especially when I say this stuff before the draft. So just listen to what I say, take heed to the film studies, and then we can go from there. We can have cordial conversations. All right? But that man in Nick Needham's spot, he's an answer there. I thought Noah Igbenogany could be an answer there right now because you have two premium corners on the outside, and you have to have a guy like Igbenogany play. He's a damn first-round draft pick, so I thought that would be him. But I could definitely see Jevon Holland stepping in for Nick Needham immediately. If Nick Needham were to falter, they have somebody who can step in, who has played at a high level of football in the slot. He could also play where McCain plays. Straight up, that would probably be his natural position, especially if they want to go to their deep third coverage and have a post safety. He could do that with these. I actually like him as a combination safety. He's probably the same exact size, if not a little bigger than Eric Rowe. My man goes about 6'1", 207 pounds, I think he was at a pro day. Just looking at Eric Rowe, he looks to be about 6'1", 205 pounds. So they're very similarly sized there. And my man has 4.4 speed, Jevon Holland. He's physical as shit. He's one of these guys, when we get into the film study right here, you can see he can maintain an edge. Hey, he's got a lot of stuff to his game, man. So he can fit a myriad of spots. Maybe even in a pinch, he could play outside corner. I think he's that damn versatile, man. This was a hell of a pickup from Chris Greer. And, of course, Brian Flores has something to do with that because we know his background and with defense and everything. So those guys working in combination there, they're doing really good things for the Miami Dolphins. I like this draft, especially the top of the draft right there. Now, the running back position or whatever like that. Now, people come in here when I say it's a dime a dozen position. I say that because you don't need to get one in the first round. Now, in the second round, all bets are off. I didn't say wait until the seventh round. It's a dime a dozen position because you don't have to focus on it, where you should be getting a premium player in the first round or even in the beginning of the second round or whatever. You can find superstars in the second round and beyond, but I wouldn't wait to seventh undrafted free agents and stuff like that. Now, that's going a little bit too far with it right there. It's still a position that could be of importance. So, and there are levels to this. So, not saying that a guy like Dokes can't come in and do the job, but I would say that, of course, you passed on some guys there that I definitely think could do the job for sure. But we shall see, because it is a pretty cut and dry position, so a guy like Dokes can end up being a star. One of the best rookies last year, the running back, was an undrafted free agent by the name of James Robinson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he rushed for over 1,000 yards as an undrafted free agent. It can happen, all right, for sure. But, man, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get into some Jevon Holland, baby. Let's go. You know, this particular play had to have hit home with Brian Flores and Chris Greer, being as though the Dolphins do run some deep third coverage as well. You would have, of course, your field corner here, your post safety, and then you have your boundary corner here. So a deep third coverage, each working a third of the field. Then you'll have your boy right here getting it in, right? So he's working kind of a matchup zone. He has pretty much all this area right here, but he's also working in conjunction with this particular individual there. So look at his ability to read the quarterback and drive on the ball here. Working out of his pedal, reading the quarterback, baits him. Bates Motel. Let's go. We got to see that again. He turns with outside leverage there because he understands the sideline is his friend, meaning he would have to cover the distance beyond the hash if necessary. And if he were playing with inside leverage right here, he wouldn't be able to defend that as well. And also he has a post safety there the way he can funnel stuff to him. But look at him bait, right? He acts like he's out leveraged there while understanding his own explosiveness. So he baits the quarterback right there and then closes the cushion pretty easily. I love that right there, man. That is the absolute truth. I'm telling you, one more time, full speed right there for you uninitiated. Angling off, baiting, got him. Route recognition as well, understanding that in-breaking route and understanding your help to the middle with the post safety. Look at this. Drive on it, got him. Spectacular. And he housed it. Rack him. Well, this one's a little bit different. This one is man-free. So it's going to look like they're running their deep third coverage here, but this time you'll see there's no eyes on the quarterback. Everyone's man up across the board right here. Man up, man up, man up. And I believe one of these other guys right here are man up, but you get the drift right there. So if you see him this time, he'll understand the post safety work still, but this time it's an outside approach to the route. He's still in the inside. You see that right there? Turns, flips his hip, picks it off right there. I think the ball may have been tipped. I'm not sure if I identified him, but he's still in the slot right here. So watch this again. See him? Flips around, but he makes sure he's sticking with that outside leverage so he can funnel that. You see how that came and the post safety was able to be there and work? So you would have to trust that he would be there. So the post safety breaks on the ball as well. So that's his inside help there. He's standing on the outside. Ball gets tipped, I believe, so it's a little bit underthrown, but he's in position to work right there. Understanding of coverage dynamics. If you're in your coverage, you're not the same. You're not doing the same thing every time. So, yeah, he was KJ Costello. Yeah, the ball starts to flutter there. So KJ Costello's arm got tipped or something like that. But you can see he's in great position, and he was going to be in great position with his makeup speed anyway to kind of bait him into throwing that pick again right there. Excellent ball skills, excellent. I think he may be a coach's son or something like that, or his father may have played. His father played in the CFL. He's from Canada. So this dude right here has a keen understanding of defensive concepts and awareness right here. And like I said before, play a myriad of positions. I want to focus on his work on the inside here because I think there's an immediate need for him there, and we know he can play a post safety. Line up in the slot once again, off man coverage. He does a really good job right here of tracking. But watch him flip his hips, right? Coming out of his shuffle, flip his hips, turns inside, and picks the ball off. One more time, full speed on that one. Of course, man free again. Excellent job right there. Pretty much, I don't know what. Ooh. Yeah, man, I wish I would have had that kind of soloed off right there. But you can tell he understood exactly what route was coming right here. But he's able to turn inward and really kind of gauge the ball in flight right here. And they're working with the chicken fighting stage. He's got it going on right there. Goes up and gets the thing right there. Receiver did a poor job, though, coming back to the ball on that one. Not sure it's that Sal Canella. Here's what amounts to a corner route. And he gets had on this. Looks like he kind of takes the cheese on this one right here, kind of standing flat-footed. I don't know if he just wanted to be over-aggressive. He thought this could be an in-breaking route right there. But he turns around, and his makeup speed on that one kind of lets him down just because he chopped his feet, and the guy was kind of running at full speed right here. See the receiver giving him no tail right here. And then in the moment of truth scenario right here, he chops it, stutters his feet. Looks like he could stem to the inside, but then he breaks it to the corner. So it's a good route right there. You can see the angle that he took. You see how he flattens this right here. He starts to flatten that way, where he would normally turn and then he would angle off this way, is what you would do if you were defending that route and flipping your hips. But that false step right there, just enough. But he still was pretty much on it, having to catch up to him. So damned if you do, damned if you don't sometimes, man, but that's just football. This isn't really anything as far as a coverage ability, but you can see him right here. They're in their prevent defense, just showing this because he has good ball skills. He has very good hands, and sometimes the defensive backs just can't even catch. You can see him right here on his Hail Mary. He's able to judge it, and he's the one that makes the play and gets the interception there. And he's usually pretty good after the catch as well, or after the interception. So that's something to look forward to. See right here, quarterback does a great job of escaping the tackle right there. He just throws up a duck, and he comes and gets it there. But just showing, man, a lot of these defensive backs these days have terrible hands, and they miss opportunities that are bunnies like that. Still in the slot right here. Let's talk about his physicality. He does a great job of working off of blocks. Like, he almost stacks and sheds like a linebacker. Look at this. Tunnel screen right here. Lineman gets on him, gets around the linebacker, and still makes the tackle. One more time. Coming out right here. See right there. Able to recognize right away. And you can see the linebacker here. Look at him. Still kind of maintain that to where you would want the running back to be funneled back towards the traffic there. Not afraid of the contact. Kind of meets the lineman. I'm sure the lineman may be a little kumsa right here. He runs by a defensive back. And look at that. Holland still ends up making the tackle right there. Man, I'd be killing my lineman if that happened to him in film study. Look at this. The lineman's not agile or something like that. But look, he's able to stick that foot in the ground, simply just make him miss. Makes him miss, still gets in on the tackle. He's an equally, as good as he is in coverage and good as he is with his range and everything like that, his tackling is something that definitely stands out. And you cannot play for Brian Flores and not tackle. You already know what they do with that Patriot way stuff. Back in that deep third again. And, of course, you know him. He's working this entire portion right here. So he'll have anything in the mid-range, and, of course, he'll work flat duty as well. So what you'll see there is you'll have a mesh concept. So that ends up driving right here into his zone. And then you just watch it yourself right here. Here's the physicality of this kid. That's what makes him special as well. Passes off there, sees the mesh, bang! Oh, man. One more time, full speed, baby. Pass it off, drive. Ooh. Love it, man. That's that Brian Flores football. Look at this. Oh, soften that man's stool. Come on. Can't be softening this dude's school. Can't be softening his stool like this. They're still in college. Oh, they still have room to grow. That's a colonic, my friends. Colonic that man. They're going to have to steam his draws. Come on, steaming that man's draw. Look at that. Head on the outside so you don't break your damn neck doing what these kids do these days. I can't stand tackling technique these days, but head on the outside, drive. When you hit it correctly like that, man, it's like hitting a home run on a sweet spot of the bat. It's like running to a cardboard or something like that. That shit is hard. Come on now. You can't use that on the inside there or at, hell, free or strong safety, to be honest with you. Stanford and 12 personnel right here. Look at my man run the alley. He's an alley worker. Wait, hold up. When you dudes be up in South Beach right there, got a little Splenda in your tank, be like, oh, did he say he works the alley? Like, no, we ain't talking like that. I'm talking about he's in the football sense, he's an alley worker. He's a guy that you can have between the inside receiver and the tackle, and he can work that alley right there. But check this out. The man does not care. He's going fill and spill. Working against blocks. Look at him stack and shed and continue to work. This is your defensive back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming down, not worried about contact right here. Slot receiver tries to block him. He takes that on right there. Sheds him, right? So Wallen discards, maintains that gap that he had to cover, right? Gapstinence. He's in gapstinence, never be in another man's gap, and he's in his own gap. And then right there, drive, wrap and roll. Get by with a little help from your friends.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.